So today we're talking about the Boston Celtics suspending their head coach for having sex with an employee. Well, it wasn't just any employee, it was a high-ranking executive's wife. Coach mayudoku led the Celtics to the NBA Finals in his very first year on the job. Now, the only thing that's more impressive than that is that mayudoku has been with actress Nia Long for the past 10 years. And no disrespect, I say this respectfully, Nia Long is now 51 and she is still fine. Matter of fact, let me digress just for 1 minute to tell you my one Nia Long story. Back in the day, there was this magazine named Vibe magazine. You might have heard of it. They had this award show out in LA, and I'm backstage, and guess who I see? Yup, Nia Long. Now, she's walking towards me, and I'm trying to get my words together because I'm most definitely about to shoot my shot. So I'm trying to think of something, prolific to say, because it's Nia Long. You just can't say nothing regular to her. Short story shorter, I couldn't think of anything to say. I didn't want to say nothing stupid, so I didn't say anything at all. I smiled at her, she smiled at me, and she just walked past like a summer breeze. That's my one Nia Long story. But anyway, back to the story. Now, let me say this before I go any further. Details are still coming out about the story. So let's talk about what we think we do know. Coach mayudoku was having an affair with Kathleen Nemo Lynch, who was in charge of team travel for the Boston Celtics, who just happens to be married to Tyler James Lynch, who is the vice president of finance for the Boston Celtics. Now, the reason mayudoku was suspended is because they have a policy in place. It's a rule that says you cannot be intimately involved with any of the other employees. Okay, cool. Now, I know some people might say, why would a company have a policy like this in place? Some people might say if two adults happen to work together, they're feeling each other, they want to hook up and it's consensual, then what is the issue? Well, there's a saying that goes, you don't shit where you eat. Now, for younger people who might be watching this, they might not understand what that means, so allow me to translate. Your job is where you eat. It's because it's how you pay your bills. Now, people, if you've ever smashed someone that you work with, then it could get messy and a bit awkward. And I'm not going to lie, it's fun in the beginning, but if it goes left, it could get ugly. And I learned this very early in life when I was in college. I used to work for the arena that they call the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. And man, you talk about women. It was women from every borough, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Staten Island, and Jersey. Now, like I said, in the beginning, it's all fun. But fellas, I found out that the issue could come when you try to end it. I was in a workplace relationship and I tried to end it before she was ready for it to end. And would you believe she got a promotion and became my supervisor? And man, did she make an easy job hard. She gave me the most work with the worst hours. And it took me 3 of the longest months of my life to get transferred out of that department. And my story is light compared to a friend of mine. He was messing with a woman that he worked with who said she was single. Come to find out, she was living with her man the whole time. And when her man found out, he came up to the job and tried to confront my friend. They got into a fight. Short story shorter, the woman told the job that my friend had been harassing her the whole time, and he ended up getting fired. Now, was he really harassing her? No, that was cap. She got caught cheating, and to save her relationship and possibly her job, she lied. And 9.5 times out of 10, in a situation like that, a company is going to take the woman's word. And people, this is what companies are most worried about. They are worried about getting sued over sexual harassment claims. This is the only reason why some companies have this policy in place, is to keep them out of sexual harassment lawsuits. If you were a supervisor at a job and you had sex with an employee, at any point, that employee could go to the HR department and say they were forced to have sex because they thought their job would be in jeopardy. They call this the power dynamic. Companies could care less who you sleep with. Unless who you sleep with can make them liable for litigation, then it becomes their concern. And you and I both know workplace relationships happen every day. I mean, think about it. If you work with a person that you find attractive, you're around that person 8 hours a day. And once you start going to lunch together, y'all damn near going on dates every day. And people, let me say this to you. The Bible says the flesh is weak. Whether you're married or in a relationship, the flesh is still weak. And fellas, I think our flesh is even weaker than women's. So we should do our best not to put ourselves in certain situations where that weakness can become an issue. Like if you're in a relationship and you're working with the person that you find to be attractive, then maybe the two of you shouldn't be working alone at the office on a late night. Or if you're on a company trip with the person that you find attractive, then maybe the two of y'all shouldn't be having drinks together at the hotel bar. Women have more self-control than men, so it can be easy for a woman to reject a man. But for a man to reject a woman, fellas, that can be hard. Now, if you're in a relationship or marriage, you shouldn't be cheating anyway. But I know that's not everyone's reality. Things happen. But to get caught cheating, that's one L. But to get caught cheating and lose your job, that's a double L. And that's what Coach Ime Udoka is going through right now. He could possibly lose Nia Long and lose the head coaching job for the Boston Celtics. And I say possibly because who knows? Him and Nia might work it out and she stays. And I hope they do work it out because they have a child together. But the part that confuses me is if the Boston Celtics have this policy in place where you can't be intimately involved with an employee, then why would they allow a married couple to work for the Boston Celtics? Because it was the executive's wife that Ime was cheating with. If the Celtics follow their own rules, there's a good chance this never happens. And ladies, let's be honest. When it comes to flirting, y'all are the best at it. Fellas, you know what I mean. How many times have you worked at a job and a woman who told you she's in a relationship is always hanging out at your desk, laughing at your jokes, and every time she laughs, she's touching your arm. She knows exactly what she's doing. Trust me. And here is the funniest part that I find to be about women. Even if a woman don't want you, she still wants you to want her. Women always feel a need to be wanted. The more attractive a woman feels, I guess, and the higher their self-esteem is if she knows that she's wanted. And fellas, women love to be complimented. Fellas, think about your own woman. If your woman gets a new hairstyle, she comes home and you don't say anything about that new hairstyle, she gonna come to you and say, babe, you don't like my hairstyle? And you gonna be like, yeah, I like it. Then she gonna say, well, why you ain't telling me you like it? That goes to show you women need to hear that compliment from you. And fellas, let me put you up on some game. If you have a woman that you love, compliment her as often as possible because women love compliments. It's like they need it for validation. And from the time your woman walks out the front door in the morning, men are giving her compliments all day long. So the more you compliment her, the less the compliments will mean from other people that she get, like the people at her job or the dudes that she passes by on her commute. You know, and if they're giving her more compliments than you, then she gonna start looking at you sideways like, oh, either you not feeling me no more or you just too comfortable. The wife that Ime Udoka cheated with was in charge of team travel. And to add insult to injury, they're saying she helped Nia move to Boston and was helping Nia look for a house. Now, when this story first came out, I was wondering how they got caught. Then it was said that the wife, Kathleen Nemo Lynch, was caught because she was on the phone with Ime Udoka in front of her house and the Ring camera picked up the conversation. Now, what seems not to be fair to me is the Boston Celtics said that the wife, Kathleen Nemo Lynch, will face no disciplinary action. And I'm like, huh? Because it takes two to tango and they both violated the company policy. Yet Coach Udoka is the only one that's being punished. Now, I understand that in some workplace relationships, there's a power dynamic that exists where a guy is the CEO or a supervisor. He has a relationship with a female employee, and that woman can then go to the HR department and say she had sex with him because she feared losing her job. But this woman is married to a high-ranking executive. So how could she fear losing her job if she told Ime Udoka no? And out of everyone involved in this situation, I feel the worst for Nia Long. They got her business all in the street and she embarrassed because they got her out here looking crazy. Now, from the reports that I've read, Ime Udoka knew since the summer that this information was going to come out, yet he still moved Nia to Boston. And I guess his mindset was that this information is going to come out. I can't do nothing to stop it. At least let me have Nia here with me so I can try to do some damage control. Now, Coach Udoka was definitely wrong for his actions. I mean, cheating on any woman is wrong. But cheating on Nia Long, that gotta be extra wrong. Now, Ime Udoka has been dragged all over the internet since this happened. However, Kathleen Nemo Lynch is coming across as a victim, and that has me confused. I'm still trying to figure out why they don't share equal blame in this. Now, I heard one report that said at first it was a consensual relationship, but after her husband found out about it, he told her to end it, and she's saying when she tried to end it, that Ime Udoka was still making unwanted advances towards her. Yet the Boston Celtics have constantly stated that this was a consensual relationship. Now, since this story came out, a few of the other female employees that work for the Boston Celtics, their name was being thrown into the mix. People were trying to figure out who the other woman was. So those women were unfairly blasted on social media. But in my opinion, that's no one's fault but the Boston Celtics. They let the story come out, then they have a full press conference, and the only person they name is Ime Udoka. People wanted to know who the other woman was, and they had to know that the public and the media was going to speculate. So why let the story come out, have a press conference, and yet only name Ime Udoka? That was messy. Now, we all know the Boston Celtics said that Kathleen Nemo Lynch will face no disciplinary action. Yet Ime Udoka is suspended for a full season. And when this story first came out, fellas, I was thinking to myself that we all know that sex feels good. But what makes sex so powerful that some men will lose their family and their career just to have it? If you know the answer, let me know. Hey, I want to thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And remember, I'm not only your host, I'm also your brother. I am Brother Nice.